Couldn't get a straight answer. That's why Blight Bark Reserves wasn't free in this resource base. Yeah, that's a good question. That seems fine, right? Seems like a fine addition. It seems pretty good. Hey, Dows. Thanks for the 10-month resub, bud. I appreciate that. Welcome, welcome, welcome back. It's a long time. We strategically lost the die roll here. Coin flip, whatever you want to call it. We have a bunch of 3-1s there. This hand would probably be pretty unbeatable on the play. On the draw, it might be a little bit slow. Lady Avalanche could mean Diamond Wild, could mean Ruby Wild. If they're Diamond Wild, then have a 4/4 on 3. Our 3-1s are going to look pretty embarrassing. Just mono wild, no plays so far. That's good. Hey, Niviki. Thanks for the 3 months. Welcome back. I appreciate that. Pico was all right. The magic was a little bit medium, but the people was good, and the people are arguably more important. That picture is what you think it is. If you look at my Twitter, I tweeted a picture of the costume. They got here over the weekend, and Christian and I tried ours on. The kids haven't gotten theirs yet. It's a remnant of life. This is a Goldfather. We're probably dead. Yeah, we need to draw like a saber tooth like right now to be able to kill this. Yeah. That does not feel good. I'm pretty sure I'm just in the market to trade one of these for 6 points of damage. Oh yeah, the emote's there too. Yeah, it is. This rabbit is the first time this attacks. Alright, so I can play this out. And it gives them a thing. But then next turn I can go shard, 2-drop, 2-drop, and then attack with this and trigger it. If they have another thing here, we'll probably be in trouble. If they just have pomegranate here, and they don't have another way to impact the board, that would be really good for us. But they get to play 2 more resources out here, right? So they could play another 3-drop. Yeah, that's probably the game. No tax there makes sense. This is not unique. Alright, the Zomboys could maybe run us into the red zone here, potentially. I'm gonna play this. I'm gonna go Zomboy, which gives them things, but... And then I'm just gonna go ahead and smash with everything here. If they want to trade this for one of these, I'm gonna get to, like, draw some extra cards here. Like, they could go, like, eat, trade, take 3 down to 8, and then next turn these Zomboys get to attack. Okay, so I think that's a good trade for us. I ended up playing Mono Red Prison in Legacy. Hey, Revan, thanks for the bits. I appreciate that. Thank you. Alright, yeah, this matchup is... Alright, let's just... You know what? Hex Ladder. It's free. The game's unwinnable. Probably be slightly less unwinnable if we'd have been on the play, but let's just move on with our lives and try another one here. I shouldn't try to play aggressive decks. Every time I play aggressive decks on the ladder, it's just like... The aggro decks just, like, consistently aren't very good in Hex, it feels like. Well, I guess that's not strictly true. The low to the ground aggressive decks often feel like they have problems. Like I've never played them and been super impressed, but I guess maybe that's just true of TCGs in general. Like they don't the low to the ground aggro decks, like they either feel insane or they're just like super anemic because they didn't get your opponent dead by turn 4 or 5. They're pretty behind there, and I guess they hadn't had glory. But like all those decks should have a bunch of glories on them, right? Did Twitch hit that 2K? I think we're 100 off. What was? Let me see what the thing was. We finished 100 off. I assume we'll probably hit it this week. We've got a little while. The goal is by Friday. It's like this hand is great. Go, won the coin flip. Get to go ahead and play the Bolt Spasm on 1 and a 2-drop on 2. No, you're never bugging. The chat's there for a reason. Feel free to use it. 1901 now. Yes. All right. Where's my notepad file? Nope, that's the wrong one. I want notepad plus plus, not that one. Yeah, the fact that IRs are bugged doesn't help too. I just cut the IRs from the reserves because they're bugged right now. Unless they fixed it from over the weekend. Probably some kind of Trishard deck. It's going to be in the bit binds longer, but one of them give you 50. That's a big amount of bits for an ad. So, does Rabid still trigger if I don't have a thing to put back? Like the first time I attack with this, if I don't have a thing in my bin, does this just do nothing? Champion discards a card if an opponent champions 3 or fewer cards in hand, summon a Candleghast. When a champion discards a card, if opposing champions have 3 or fewer cards in hand. Wow, that's gross. So like if they had been able to hit their champion power there, they would have been able to make a Candleghast. Play this Blake Bark Burster. Oh, you know what? That sequencing is probably wrong. Okay, so these are trading. This is dealing 5. This can sacrifice something to get 2/2. This would be 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So I can put them to 1 here. I'm gonna put them to 1. This is Constructed Maester. I'm trying out one of the. I miscounted 7. Yep. Definitely 10 and not 11. Need my gambling buddy. I understand. It's fine. Niviki, you already put a lot into the Owl Fund. You've done more than your fair share. Why would I sack the bolt? It can only be done once per turn, right? That gem is once per turn. Yeah, once per turn. I knew that one. Don't you make me doubt myself, Burgle? Make me question what I'm doing. I don't know what our opponent's doing. I'm just gonna click submit. Vegas is like a Magic tournament. You shouldn't go for the EV. Shouldn't go for the EV. Morning, Rollins. Yeah, that's why you should go. That's exactly. Niviki understands. It's never not a scapegoat on one, right? Scapegoat 0/1 that every time it attacks it gets +1 power permanently, and when it gets blocked it bounces back to our hand. So you goat on 1, slow shard, bolt spasm on 2, last guard bloodsworn on 3. Seems decent. This is my goat. My goat is amazing. Charge. Bolt spasm is just straight up a 3/1 for 1. Straight up a 3/1 for 1. Man, if they don't have a return to Cinder here, they're gonna be real sad. Cincinnati was the tournament this weekend. I went 3-2. My team went 2-3. Our modern player played Mardu Pyromancer and played against a lot of Tron lands. That's just them's the beats sometimes. Just hit some strong matchup variants. Hex is a Monday is a Magic in the afternoon day, so we have the sitter starting at 3 o'clock. So I'll be fired back up. I don't know how long I'm gonna stream this morning. I have to get some writing and some housework done. But I was gonna play a couple matches of Hex. The kids are being like relatively good. You can hear Jake still kind of loud in the background, but you know, not too bad. Casualty of war. Yep, he's dead, Jim. So opponent letting us get that attack trigger in there, which is a little bit of a mistake on their part. They definitely should kill that before it gets to attack. This is a surprise morning stream, yep. Hey, my things that have 3 points of power for 1 and 2 mana are too strong. So the stream schedule for this week is planning on being Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday afternoon, and then all day Friday for the most part. I'm still not used to these resources just like being non-slow. It's so good. What does this champion do? A random troop in your hand gets +1/+1. That's interesting. And they're playing some kind of tri-shard thing. The slow shard's kind of a Debbie Downer. If the slow shard wasn't a slow shard, if it made a resource the turn we played it, our hand would curve out really nicely. We're rank 5 inside of Platinum, so we're nowhere. I haven't really been playing a lot of Hex, so we're not really ranked on their ladder right now. So the Remnant is like a pseudo Shockland JW. You play it out and you pick one of your 2 thresholds with it. And then if you don't already have what's the word I'm searching for? 4 thresholds, you lose 2 health. So playing that resource cost me 2 health because we played it early. I mean, kinda does. Like, remember, you have to consider the fact that what's the word I'm searching for? It is the slow shards are like, think of them like this deck doesn't really want to play 23 resources, right? Like it's a deck that curves out at 3. It's like Magic where you have resources inside of your deck. So the shard cards that I've been playing out, those are effectively lands that give us different colors down here. The Hex resource system is a little bit more elegant than Magic's because we don't have to manually keep track of like lands when we're using our resources every turn, which is nice. My personal result was 3-2. I lost to Reanimator, which is basically an unwinnable matchup, and I lost a close set to Colorless Eldrazi. It's the number 2. Craft, when this attacks, it deals combat damage to an opposing champion. Sure. The fact that this is a 3/4 is really annoying, though. Blast off. That's cute. How did this get bigger? Oh, when you control a prismatic troop, it gets bigger. Sure. Yeah, definitely. Oh, they're getting aggressive. That's good for us. They're gonna die pretty quickly here, right? So I'm gonna play this. When this attacks, it's socketed with the create an attacking blaze elemental. So like, if they block here, they're gonna take 3, 6, 7, and then this is gonna deal 2 to them again next turn. And then I could actually refuel this and the blaze elemental back next turn. So they're probably gonna be pretty dead here. And this has the modifier on it where it deals 2 damage to them at the start of their turn from my Nefarious Corruptor. So we could sack the Blaze Elemental to this because it dies at the end of turn anyways. Yeah, Milwaukee's 2 weekends from now. So not this weekend, but the next one. Oh, I should have played it pre-combat. Yeah, you're right. I missed a point at Crusher. It doesn't matter. All the roads are heading towards Romeburgle, but you're right. I missed a point of Crush on here because they were eating my thing anyways. Hired Horned Nomad. When this attacks random, sure. Alright, they should be pretty dead. So Refuel grabs 2 troops from our discard pile and puts them back into play with speed, and then they die at end of turn. So this is going to get to floop the Nefarious Corruptor into play, which is going to add that deal damage text to the crafty Sky Carver here. And then this is also going to make another Blaze Elemental when it attacks. So they should be super duper dead. Like, are you watching this game, Dows? Can you like use your words? Why do you think the Abomination gem would be better? Because like the Blaze Elemental gem just seems totally insane, right? Like it synergizes with Refuel. It lets us just push more damage aggressively. Like, yeah, like we're not like the gem you're suggesting is like that's like a grindy gem, right? I don't really think we're looking to grind out our opponents, right? I think we're just like looking to kill them, right? Like just even not being results based on that game that we just played, like just looking at the gems in general, like what they allow the decks to do, the 3/1 seems so much better. Yeah, it's similar to that card, Niviki. So one of the things that's a little bit different from Hex versus coming from Magic is that our cards that create other cards, because Hex is digital, we can like take these things that would have to be like tokens in Magic, and we get to like, they can get bounced to our hand, they can go to our discard pile, they can get shuffled back into our deck. So like the things that get made are never really gone. Yeah, drew the Scapegoat on one. Let's get him. Zomboids is a 3/2, right? Yeah, the Undead Zombie Knoll. So if I spend like $50, can I get into this game pretty easily? Yeah, you can spend a lot less than that to be competitive on the ladder. Some of like the tier 1 decks that see play are more expensive than that, but like I think this deck to buy outright with no budget considerations is like $80. The ladder's not super competitive. You just want to get a feel and like play more casually. Like there's a budget candles deck on my list of budget candles decks that's like $15 to build. It's super cheap. All right. Man, conceding the bad matchup and just like queuing into people that could never beat 3-power troops is just like the best decision we made this morning. Yeah, Scapegoat's super powerful. Especially when like you're putting so many things into play that like your opponent needs to block. Like Goat pushes a lot of damage very quickly. Yeah, so it's called hexpvptools.net. So one of the things Hex does that's great is I'm a data junkie. So Hex publishes all of the data. So like when they have their tournaments on the weekends, they don't just publish the winning deck list, they publish every deck list that enters the tournament, and you can see what deck list everyone played against every single round. So you can like click on it and say, okay, this deck top 8'd. All right, what decks did they play against while they were working towards top 8? Yeah, so like Dows, you're like looking to play like a different style of deck, right? Like we're playing a deck that's like curving out. So like if our opponent has removal for a 3/2, that means we didn't have any. They have removal for other ones as well, and like we just don't have anything going on. We're not looking to grind people out. We're looking to run them down. Yeah, this is Shredder TPZ's deck list that Marty top 8'd with. I think Shredder ended up getting X2 or 2, whatever it is. It's okay. No 1-drop is sad. We're on the draw though, so maybe we could just be super professional and draw the 1-drop. Well, the ladder versus like paid tournaments has ups and downs too, right? So like one of the downsides of Hex with the ladder is that while the ladder's free to play and it's easy to into it, it's casual, it's kind of hard to like earn consistent rewards just playing constructed in Hex, because once you climb the ladder and get your prizes, you really can't get you can't get more rewards playing constructed for the season. So like there's a very finite amount of rewards you can get each season while playing Hex. I mean, like why would are you saying I should reserve this card? Like can I answer your question with a question? Like what should I be playing instead of this in your opinion? And like you said main board, like are you implying I should reserve this card? Like, I'm not sure, like, what your... Well, they don't have a third resource drop. That's good for us. All right, let's smash them for 3 here. And then I think we'll just get to go slow shard into another 2-drop here. How would you rate the new set compared to this one in terms of enjoyment level? I don't really have a good metric. Oh, this is an easy trade. Yes, I will trade with your life trade troop. We drew removal. If I would have known we were drawing removal, I probably would have waited. I just don't really have a good metric for comparing it just yet, because I've only played a few ladder matches. We played some ladder matches last week, but like I said, the ladder's kind of casual. So like I don't really have a good metric for like how like the good competitive decks are this season versus other things. Like I'm just now into platinum, so like we're just fine. This is like the first time we've played Hex. I've played Hex this season where like I haven't played against like 80 card decks every other match. The mechanics seem interesting. The fixing is reasonable. I really wish we had all 10 remnants. They split their dual resources, so I assume we're gonna get 5 more of these in the next set. I don't really know. What I want to do here, the opponent just like played a daughter and a... I probably want the Sabertooth. Boltling's probably not bad if they're troop based. Yeah, the campaign's definitely fine for playing, for getting used to the actual mechanics of the game, but the thing to keep in mind is that playing the campaign doesn't really give you very meaningful rewards. I think if you have like an optimal campaign deck, you can grind like $1 worth of in-game currency per hour. So if the campaign's a lot like everything else we talk about here, right? Like if you enjoy playing against the AI and you think it's fun to like build the decks to like test your deck building skills against AI, like then it's like worth your time because you're having fun, right? But like if you're like trying to like grind for value, like you shouldn't play the campaign. Going on, Tron. I'm gonna mulligan this. It's got 4 resources in it. I guess I've got spot removal and a 2-drop. Keep it, I guess. If we draw like non-coin resources, this hand's gonna be a little sad. The Diamond Wild Momentum deck's really good, Full Metal Alchemist. I think I might kick the tires on that after this one. We're gonna play a few matches with this and then see how that one feels. Right on time, Escapegoat. Thanks for joining the party late. Right on time. Wizards of the Coast doesn't want to be associated with any other things. How do you cancel playing a card? Hitting escape, like if you click on it and you go to choose targets, hitting escape uncasts a card. Just per turn. That's interesting. Oh, this can't be blocked except by... Okay, so this actually blocks that, which is nice. I think I just go Bolt Spasm plus Blamsmith here. I mean, like, I also just, like, don't really want to play Arena, right? Like, Arena doesn't have Modern. Like, if you look at the Magic that we play on this channel, like, we basically just play Modern and Legacy, and we've played some Pauper. Like, none of those things are formats inside of Arena. What's this do? Wait, are they... Whenever a non-fantasy... I think my opponent's going to be really sad here. Because this is normally mostly unblockable. It can't be blocked except by non-prismatic cards. But this is prismatic. This is 2 shards. So eat your 2/2. Oh, I'm dumb. This has the sacrifice gem. Oh, so I'm the one who's dumb. I guess, like, I was gonna have to discard a card here. That's like 6 in one hand, half dozen in the other, I guess. I was actually the one who was dumb, turns out. That's surprising. Alright, let's kill this. Going on, hats. No, I'm not tilted. Not at all. I just, you know, I'm realistic about what I'm looking to get out of my games. I'm gonna attack with this. If they want to trade both of these Phantoms for my Bolt Spasm, that's fine. If they don't, not surprised. So one of the things to keep in mind, Niviki, is that the fixing in Hex is going to be much worse than the fixing in Magic, which isn't strictly a bad thing. It keeps the color pie a little bit more diverse, like the terms of the decks that get played. Just never beat that with Swift Strike. All right, so let's board in some things. Yeah, there's a couple of Tri-Shard decks. So the thing to keep in mind is that even when you have a comparable number of duels in Hex compared to Magic, is that when you play these dual resources out, they only give us one or the other permanently. It's not like a dual land in Magic where you can like tap it for one or the other every turn. So it makes the fixing ultimately a little bit worse. I think I want these Jouncing Carnages against the Brilliant Danoronics. I want a couple of these. What's going on, Marty? Congrats on your top 8 this weekend. This bolt wing is pretty good, I think. What do I want to cut here? Is Bruiseberry Brewer not good enough? I want a couple of Carnages, but I don't know what exactly I want. That 5 pieces of removal is probably a little bit much. I think I want 5 pieces of removal though. I think I'm happy with 5. Nefarious Corruptor is very good. You are not wrong. There are two in our reserves. Yes. Yes. They also have the create a blaze elemental and attack gem in them, which is good. That's fine. Not amazing, but fine. Needs a shard. Shard or 2. I wonder if I was supposed to trim some refuels. Well, these are really good at pushing damage, especially with the boosters. How many matches are we in? I think this is 5. Yeah, I think it's 5. I conceded a match to Diamond Wild because it didn't feel like we could ever win that match in a million years, and then we've won the other 3, and this is game 3 of this match. Yeah, guidance is super powerful. Super powerful. Just like easily one of the best cantrips on any TCG ever made. Wise Magistrate, that's annoying. Card, please. Tilt. Alright, well, I guess we're killing their thing and then hitting them for 2. Alright, really want to draw a Ruby here so we can play this Bolt Wing out. It's unfortunate. That's probably the game. Yeah, I'm just gonna let's just move on to the next one, shall we? Try one more before we try a different deck. This deck's certainly powerful, but just doesn't really feel like a style of deck that I enjoy playing. You can see the appeal and see the axis that it's attacking on. That's good, but just not a huge fan of these like Sly style decks. Just don't really do it for me. Like I said, people ask me like put it as a 63 card deck here. Like I don't actually know what's good or bad in this format because we haven't played against like mostly real decks at this point. I don't think we've played against any like the Diamond Wild deck that we played against the first match today that this deck can never beat. It's the first like real deck from like the 1K tournaments that we've played against. I think it's just not possible to convert Magic into a digital TCG. I think Richard Garfield hit the nail on the head when he described Magic as just like not fitting into a digital card game well. Kind of, Burgle. Magic Hex is fundamentally different than Magic in a number of really important ways that allow it to be better in the digital aspect. Yeah, the Candles deck Niviki is definitely an aggressive deck. Homunculus! With that brand new Twitch Prime support, thank you very much and welcome. I appreciate that, as always. Subs are the best way you can support what I do here. Thank you. Send your Amazon Fund money here this month. Thanks everyone for hanging out. I do appreciate it. Attack you with this. I played this out pre-combat just in case they had something that like destroyed my troop while it was attacking, because this could sacrifice things to get rage. Yeah. It just the biggest holdback for Magic, or the difficult thing that they have to do, is that like the inclusion of lands is just like exceedingly clunky. The goats are here and they're coming for you. Yeah, the biggest difference between Hex and Magic in terms of like makes Hex a little bit more elegant in the digital space is that like how the resource system works. Just like here, like right, like I played this card out and I didn't have to like fumble around with which resources I was using to play this card, right? It's just like, all right, I'm going to deduct from your total resources that you have here, and we're just going to put your thing into play. Like people, like Arena might be very reasonable, especially once they get more formats and more cards into it, but people just like keep talking about like, you know, I want to play Magic on my phone. Like I never want to play Magic on my phone. Like trying to fumble around and tap lands or like manage a board that has like 10 creatures or 30 creatures in it, like that sounds awful. Using code Hoagland5 or Jeff5, sorry, it's Jeff5, you can get 5% off your primal orders. Double removal there is kind of a beating. I'm glad we have Bruiseberry Brewer here. So this card, the first time it attacks, we get to discard our hand and draw 3 more cards. We'll start by attacking with the goat, which is gonna get bounced to our hand, but that's fine. Whenever they block this, it gets sent back up to our hand. And then we'll replay. Wait, they didn't. Okay, opponent must not be. And again, like, opponent just like not reading our card. So it's free to block a scapegoat, because when they block this, it comes back to my hand automatically and it never deals damage to the thing that blocked it. Yeah, the details in Arena are really, and like, if arenas even say, I don't know, half the cost of Magic Online, that's too expensive in my opinion. Because like, a Magic Online, you can sell back out of. Like, the fact that Magic Online is a full buy, sell, trade secondary market is a huge boon in its favor. It's a huge boon in its favor. All right, what am I doing here? I think I'm just doing this. I'm gonna shoot this guy because it's got Swift Strike. I'm gonna cycle this coin to deal 2 damage to my opponent. The thing that's a little awkward about Bruiseberry Brewer is that its trigger's not optional. Like I'm turning 2 cards into 3 new ones here, which could be good or could be bad. Oh, it has Menace too, right? Feral is can't be blocked except by 2 things. So if they want to kill my Bruise, nope, they're just taking 3. Sweet. All right. Well, since they blocked their, I'm gonna go ahead and play this Necropolis coin out so I can go 2/2/1 next turn. Yeah, I haven't been playing much X-Roy. Or definitely not Cosmic. This is actually the latest I've ever climbed the ladder in a season. We're like halfway into the season, right? Tarmagoosey, thank you for the 213 sub. I appreciate that. Welcome, welcome, welcome back. Thank you for the continued support. So Zomboys, the first time it attacks, it gets to return a troop from my discard pile to my hand. I'm actually just going to wait on this attack here because I would like to use my champion power next turn. Maybe I should have attacked with the escape goat to get it larger. Probably doesn't matter. Probably doesn't matter. So next turn, when these dorks attack, they'll be able to return things that cost 3 or less to their hand. Zomboys can target Zomboys. Oh, that's funny. So if you have a Zomboids in your bin that hasn't triggered Rabid yet, you can. Okay, that makes sense. Okay, we lost the Zomboids to Return to Cinder. They don't really have good attacks here, right? Like, they can attack and, like, trigger these, but then, like, my 3-2 gets to eat their 2-3. That's aggressive. They must have some kind of trick here, right? Eat this and take 8. I hope. So triggering those. Wait, they just so you're dead. You took the the play that left you dead on board. Good chat. Good chat. All right. Yep. Yep. All right. So Boltwing Phoenix sounds good. Extra way to sweep up. Crackling Magma deals damage to all their poopers. Sounds good. Bolt Spasm's pretty terrible, right? I think a Scapegoat is probably fine. Oh, Sting. A +1 attack and can't be blocked. Yeah, that sounds great. A couple of Sabertooths in. Yeah. So Hex's ladder is best of 3. So the deck stats are the same as in Magic. You have 60 card main decks, 15 card reserves. You get to swap some cards in and out. Yeah. The actual game design and the gameplay in Hex is very well done. They're as far as game design goes, they are top notch. I've been played Hex off and on for the last 2.5 years or so, and like they release 3 sets a year, so they push out pretty much more content than everyone other than Magic, and their standard formats are pretty consistently excellent. There was one in there in like 2.5 year span that I wasn't a huge fan of, but like that's a pretty good stat card, right? Like, especially considering like Magic's had rancid standard formats for like the last 2 years. A year and a half. Like, whether or not it's worth getting into, it depends on like what you're looking for. If you're looking for a game to just like play a little bit here and there, or even like they do cash tournaments on the weekends too. So the if you have a little bit of spending money, the thing I always recommend for my Magic players that are like a little bit more competitive or just like don't like grinding is the budget candle stacks are about $15 to build. If you've got if $15 isn't a ton of money, like, you know, that's your an entertainment budget, you're gonna get at least 2 hours of entertainment out of that probably while you get a feel for it. Just fill the shopping cart at Hex Primal, hit checkout, or if you're one of my subs, ask in the subs Discord. So Hex is a full digital trading card game, so a lot of times people have like extra bulk laying around. People that play a lot of limited will have a lot of extra commons and uncommons, and sometimes you can get some or all of it for free if you ask in Discord. And just the ladder doesn't cost you anything to play, so just like pick up the budget constructed deck and jump into the ladder and play some matches and get a feel and figure out if it's for you or not. The tier 1 competitive decks, like this deck I'm playing here is a deck that top aided their 1K tournament this past weekend, and it's like $80 or $90 to build outright fully. Some of the other decks in the format can get more expensive than that, like up into like the $200 range, but usually there's a couple of tier 1 decks around $100 every season. And if your goal is to just like play kind of casually and mostly just play on the ladder, you're not going to like play the 1K tournaments. Like something like the budget $15 deck is going to get you to the highest rank on the ladder every season. This curve is great, and they burned a Return to Cinder, which voids the troop. So the fact that they burned that on my 1-drop and not my Boltwing Phoenix later is going to be good for us. Bolt Spasm of their own. That's interesting. I don't think I want to trade Blamsmith for their Bolt Spasm, especially since I've like got spot removal in my hand. So I'm gonna play the Bolt Wing, and I'm only gonna attack with the Bolt Wing here. I'm not gonna attack with my Blamsmith on the ground. What if I'm a terrible person? Ask you the important question. Don't let them know you're a terrible person. Keep that a secret until later. So Bolt Wing's a super powerful card. It's a 2/2 with flight and speed for 3. So that means it's evasive and it gets to attack right away. And then when it dies, we get to pick one of two things. Either we can deal damage equal to its power to every opposing troop, so it's like a pseudo sweeper when it dies, or we can give it +1/+1 and return it to our hand while making it cost 1 more resource. So it's a resilient threat, so it's very good against the control decks, and it's also pretty good against the aggressive deck since it can be a pseudo sweeper. Great. So this resource lets me pick a threshold. It's a dual shard. I'm just gonna play Sting in the Scorponok. So Sting. As far as deck tiers go, the Blood Diamond Constance deck is probably a little bit less powerful than the Candles deck, but it's still fine for laddering with. And yeah, it would be more of a mid-range deck. The two decks that are on my budget list right now are definitely the Candles is an aggressive deck, and the Blood Diamond deck is more mid-range. Luminite, sure. So this is a constant that gives all of my troops +1 power, and then they can't be blocked by troops with less attack than they have. Oh, that's fine. Yes, Marty, it's really sweet. There are not any budget control decks this season, no. So they actually can't block either of my things here, which is great for us. So I'm going to... what do I want to do? Got some choices here. So Refuel lets us bring things from my discard pile back to play. And normally they die at end of turn, but the way Refuel interacts with Boltwing Phoenix is that when it dies to Refuel, we can use Boltwing to return it to our hand. So I could, yeah, okay, so I'm going to sacrifice my Boltwing Phoenix to make this bigger, and then I'm going to use the Electrifying Death to kill my opponent's troops. And then I'm going to use Refuel to put my Boltwing Phoenix back into play. And then this is going to die at end of turn because that's how it works with Refuel. But then I'll get to trigger Boltwing's ability, which brings itself back to my hand when it dies. I guess we could be in a little bit of trouble if they have another Return to Cinder to void my Phoenix, but I still have a Blamsmith at that point, so we're in an okay spot. Yeah, Refuel is really powerful, especially when, like, someone's asking about the Blightbark Bursters that we're playing earlier. Like, Refuel along with Blightbark Burster is very good. So you'll see this Phoenix will pop back up into my hand here with the bonus. Oh, it still has an end of turn sacrifice it too, so this thing's just going to get to pop back up into my hand every single turn. Neat. Let's play. We played, like, this is so much easy. I should not ladder with non-aggressive decks or we're looking to grind up early. We played like 7 matches in 40 minutes, 45 minutes. Oh, the control decks were sweet. What does this do? Sacrifice a troop. Troops you control get +1/+1. Interesting. Okay. So, not quite sure what that means out of their deck. Yeah, definitely Niviki. Like, even just even just that Phoenix that we had, like, tracking extra cost of a card like that, like, the actual design isn't, like, overly complicated and it doesn't involve anything happening at random, but just the way that it works, it just wouldn't be possible to paper TC without really awkward amounts of, like, counters and exiling and tracking and stuff like that, right? Took forever and I didn't, yep.
Yeah, like we've climbed a good deal, and I conceded a matchup that we just like weren't likely to win, right? No, I forgot to update the API this morning. I'll try to remember to do that for next time. This is a good example of why like these aggressive decks are good, right? Like people are dirtling around, like opponent hasn't done anything. They've had 2 turns. All right, hack you with my goats. Ba ba black sheep. Do 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 do. Beep, 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 beep. What is that champion card? So each player on each side of the board has what's called a champion. And when you play most resources, you get a charge point towards what's called your champion ability. And your champion ability gives you different effects. So like my opponent's champion ability lets them for 4 charges sacrifice a troop to give all their troops +1/+1 permanently. My champion ability says until my next turn, my troops gain Gladiator, which gives them an extra attack or defense depending on whose turn it is. Is it worth it to play it out? Yeah, probably. At something like a Grand Prix, I usually play out, or an Open, like I play out all my matches. Your opponent could mulligan a bunch. Your opponent could make a mistake. Like those are, you should definitely make them play that out when if you have to wait 60 minutes for the next round anyways, like you should do that. Yeah, aggressive decks have been good pretty consistently, Big Dookie. The Candles deck was very good last season in Diamond Wild Momentum, and this deck had a copy in the top 8 as well as someone in the top 16 at the last event. That's pretty good. So this comes into play, it triggers the death cries of something. We might have a hard time pushing through here. They're at 16 though. And I have these coins for a little bit of reach. And Blight Bark Burster as well. We might be able to drain them out of this game. So Blight Bark Burster is a 4/2 that says when it dies, each opposing champion loses 3 health. Are there decent control decks in the format at the moment? I think so. Control decks are a little bit more expensive in terms of dollars. I'm not sure what I'm going to play after this. I kind of want to try... I kind of just want to get to Cosmic, so I think we're going to play Diamond Wild Momentum, but I've worked on a couple of control decks. That's another... Yep. So this is going to target this thing again, and then they're probably going to be able to use their champion power to sacrifice this to make all their troops bigger. I think they're just going to get a little bit too wide for us. They use their champ power here on this. That's pretty smart. Yeah, so it gives them more, and then it makes all their things bigger. I think we're dead here. We're dead. All right, maybe that's going to let us stay in this. I'm going to go ahead and put this on here. These coins might let us sneak up again. So these coins are slow resources, so they don't give you a resource the turn you play them, but they have an activated ability where we can discard them from our hand to draw a card and drain our opponent for 2 health. So they're going to 12 here. This is going to put them to 10. This is going to put them to 8. And like this is going to put them to 5. So we could potentially steal this game. Hey, what's going on, Anoronics? Good morning. Drunken Hooligan. Death Cry. Draw cards equal to this troop's power. Gain health equal to its defense. That's kind of scary for us. Depending on how aggressive they get here, the Nefarious Corruptors could also let us steal the games, because when these attack, they get to deal some extra damage to my opponent. I'm going to double block here, because if we draw a refuel, I want to be able to refuel the Nefarious Corruptor back into play. We'll take 4 down to 16 here. They're going to take 3 off this Blight Bark Burster down to 7. And then if we hit a refuel, they're actually dead. Boltwing Phoenix, is that lethal? Not quite. So this puts them to 5. God, they're so close to dead. Are we still donating for the 12. Oh, they are dead actually, because Boltwing Phoenix has flight, and I can use my champion power to give it an extra attack here. And then this has the modifier where it takes 2 damage every turn. So sweet. Got them exactly dead. So they're gonna die. They're gonna die to this trigger on this the start of their turn. And yes, we are still donating for the 12-hour owl stream. If we hit the last $99 in donations there, we'll have a 12-hour owl stream on Sunday. That was a close set. That was the reach in this deck is some guy named Marty Punker cut all the coins from this deck when he played it in the bash. That's probably wrong, but I'm not. Who am I to judge? Maybe I don't know what I'm talking about. All right, I think I want these return to Cinders against them. Also, I'm gonna be doing a 12-hour stream on Friday for sure, regardless of what donations we get, to celebrate hitting 1,000 sub points. Are goats just cuttable? Yeah, I'm just gonna cut all these 1-drops on the draw and just like be a little bit more mid-rangey, I think. 12-hour owl stream, 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 12-hour owl stream. I think we're getting pretty good there. This seems okay if they have blight bushes and stuff. Well, thanks for answering all my questions. Here's a sig 12 hours of hooch. Thanks for the bits. I appreciate that. Thank you. People keep asking me about 24-hour streams. Like, I'm just too old for that stuff. I can't do it anymore. We're almost there, Watsy. We are currently $97 off. We're gonna have like 30 hours worth of Magic streams before the donation timeline is over. So I bet we will get $97 in 30 hours of streams. It's pretty good. Another refuel is awesome. Refuel plus Nefarious Cryptor is just like really sweet, especially when I have Blabsmith to sacrifice stuff. So I've done 24 hours in the past, Niviki, and it's just not. I'm an old man. It's just like, it's tough on my body. People just like seeing people be miserable is what it comes down to, I think. I'd rather focus on making better content than like trying to not be miserable. What was the last 24 hours? I think it was in like July of last year. How does the resource mana system work? Or what? Take a peek at this one. Take a peek at this article here, and it'll give you kind of good some good info on like how some of the finer details of things work. So my Nefarious Cryptor is so good in this deck. So this is one of those simple things. So it adds the text to this card. My opponent's going to take 2 damage every turn as long as that's in play. It does get to block our bird. You're always visible. That's true. You're not wrong. Yeah, we're going to play Magic this evening, Dual Shark. So about 3 p.m. Central Standard Time. So we'll kick off with some Magic approximately 6 hours from now. Approximately 6 hours from now, we'll play some Magic. The kids are actually being really good this morning. I thought about playing Magic this morning, but then, like, kids screaming is occasionally loud. So we have a sitter this afternoon, so we'll have our 6 to 7 hour Magic block this evening. We have every Monday. The phantom chat bubble is so annoying. I wonder what causes that. You have disconnected from the game servers. Weird. All right. Oh yeah, I guess Hex actually has sound effects and music, so like I was actually listening to music before I started streaming, and I just left the headset on. I'm gonna reconnect. Weird. Strange. At least this tells me when I'm disconnected. It doesn't leave me guessing like Magic Online. This is mostly Marty Punker's deck list from the bash. And by Marty Punkers, I mean TPZs. Might be a server side issue. So Lord Blightbark's a really powerful card. So 2/2 for 2. This is when a troop enters play under your control, trigger its Death Cry. So basically, their Death Cry triggers are deploy triggers as well. There's the Zomboys. Alright. Do I want to play that out? Probably want to play that out. So it's a 3/2 for 2. Then when it attacks, we get to put a 3-drop from our discard pile into play attacking. That's terrifying. Oh, Lord. Holy shit. Well, we did. So this card, when it comes, this card has a Death Cry, make 3 Blight Bushes. And then Blight Bushes has the Death Cry, make 2 Blight Blossoms. So those normally happen when these cards die, but because they have the Lord Blightbark, this came into play and made these. So we are very dead. Very, very dead. Huh. Alright, I'm gonna cut some of this stuff. I'm gonna put my 1-drops in on the play, I think. I have these Return to Cinders. And I have these Scorpidexes, so I got a scale of 1 to very dead. Where are we at here? I still want to cut. Can I cut a refuel? That seems a little clunky. It's so much reach, though. I think that many bushes is against the Twitch TOS. Yeah, I'm gonna leave the refuels in because it's a lot of reach. I should put 6 1-drops in. Alright, hopefully we can run them down on the play here. Perfect. Have our goat on 1. If we curve out into 4 nicely here, we'll be pretty great. We get to go goat into 2-drop, into sting. I'm gonna try Diamond Wild Momentum after this. Hey Burgle, if you're listening, is there a Diamond Wild Momentum list that you like? You should link it to me if there is. That way I don't have to think. Would like to think less. Play this out pre-combat so that way I can get my auto pass value in here since they can't block anyways. Eda B with the brand new Twitch Prime support. Thank you very much. I really appreciate that. As always, subscriptions are the best way you can show support for what I do here. So thank you, thank you, thank you. Is the Diamond Sapphire aggro deck good though? I know the Diamond Wild Momentum deck is really good. Yeah, that's why I think it's probably not very good, because it's got Exalted Commander in it. I guess the Mantis Champ is pretty decent, right? The neat tempo card. Oh, did Diamond Wild win the bash? Makes sense. They are super dead. Just return to Cinder that and get him out of here. Get out of here. Get voided. Take 4/9 here. Smash. Oh, geez. Actually be in a little bit of trouble here. Yeah, do they do that and make some more? Okay, yeah, those are 4s. That's gross. Really want to hit a shard here so I can play this Sting and then kill them with this Scapegoat. That's unfortunate. I guess I'm just playing this and passing. This would have actually been lethal here. Yeah. Yeah, this would have actually, because it would have given it +1 power, and then this would have gotten to attack up to 6. But now I just really can't do anything. Completely stonewalled. Why are there only 3 Palm of Granites in this deck? Oh, I should have attacked with the goat and replayed it. Yeah, that's a free attack. You're right. So I missed. The numbers in this deck look really awkward. Why are there 3 Shamrock Goldfathers? I don't understand. I'm just gonna build my own. I'm just gonna build my own. Oh, geez, are they gonna just kill my goat now? They're killing my zomboys. Sure. Told you to play Kendrils. Alright, yeah, sorry, someone else linked me something else. Kendrils, got it. This deck looks way better. Yeah, God bless. God bless. This build looks excellent. Shard. Alright, Nefarious Corruptor is not the worst. It allows us to... We actually have lethal... 2 turn. Oh, I should have put that on a non-unique card. Yeah, I should have put that on a non-unique card because they could just play another Lord Blightbark and get rid of this. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. What's the Brilliant playing? It's Major Orb of Growth and Diamond. So it like has pseudo momentum basically. That makes sense. Yeah, I agree with that assessment, Sargon. I'm gonna cut the Wild Ice from that deck list. Alright, so we get to sacrifice this Nefarious Corruptor. And then we get to refuel the Nefarious Corruptor back into play here. Which lets me trigger it again on, I don't know, something. And then assuming... they can't kill either of their things here, they will be dead because they're gonna take I shouldn't have attacked here, right? That doesn't matter because this can't die. Oh wait, no, crap. Oh, I punted it. Oh, I shouldn't have attacked. Oh, I shouldn't have attacked, chat. Oh, mistakes were made. They can technically get out of lethal because I attacked. I didn't need a shard, I just needed a dot attack. So they can block here, but I guess I'm not dead on the backswing then. This is probably fine, but I just shouldn't have attacked because then, or I should have put this trigger over here, or just like, mistakes were made. So my opponent would die on their ready step from 2 here and 2 here. Oh, my opponent just made bad blocks, deal. All right, well, if they don't have removal, they're dead. All right, God bless. So my opponent could have avoided dying that turn. Oh, I could have sacrificed. No, I already used my sacrifice because I needed to put the thing in. No, I didn't use it that turn. Opponent could have avoided dying that turn by blocking with Baroness Fiona plus the Blight Bush, but I could have sacrificed to prevent that as well, right? To win, you just didn't. You needed to not do anything, and I did. In fact, I did in fact kick the ball. All right, got another warp steel AA. God bless. All right, that's the end of the blood ruby deck. Let's play some Diamond Bomb Momentum.